which bucket composting toilet system should you use? The separate, simple bucket system, or the super simple, just Luggable Loo? Cut to the chase, this is the one we use now. We started with this one, with the separate, 8 years ago, and didn't find that there was much benefit to separating the urine. So I think this is a fine option if you're concerned with that. We actually have a shed that's just outside our house. We're not too concerned with the smells. The thing that I don't like about the separate is that you have to raise the toilet up in order to gather the liquids, and it can be kind of a pain in the butt dealing with the urine bucket. I find it's just easier to dump our whole bucket into our compost pile. So that's the urine diverter. Okay option. Don't like dealing with the urine, but if you're really worried about smells, it might help. This is the current option that we use, just a basic circular hole with the bucket in the middle, the lid that opens up so you can empty everything out with just an old toilet seat. Super simple. We just use the wood shavings, put it on there, and go from there. So then the last option is this Luggable Loo type, which I really like for working on jobs. I'll take this with me working on jobs. I'll take it camping with me, just a bucket in this if I need to actually do my business, or we would even use it just to go pee in the middle of the night when we were boondock camping in our camper. So a really nice option. Only a couple buckets on the lid. The next thing that I want to talk about is what do you do with the compost? So compost is a resource. What do you do with your Humanure? So I'm going to show you next our composting system. So this is our composting Humanure system. Little shout out to Doug and Stacey's homesteading channel. We borrowed a lot of their ideas when we created this. So the first thing I'll bring your attention to is our big circular round. This is our Humanure pile. Basically, we just use straw and dig a hole in the middle, and then add the Humanure in here as we need to. It's already composting up pretty nicely. We'll just keep adding layers of this one until it fills up. And we haven't built it yet, but we will build a second one exactly like this right next to it. And then once this is filled up, then we'll let it compost for a year, and then we'll go on to the other one. Another side note, kind of just fun for the more adventurous in you, I've inoculated this with edible nut mushrooms, so we'll see what happens with that. Maybe we'll send them to somewhere to test them to see if they're free of pathogens. The other part about the system, this is what sort of Doug and Stacey inspired us to do, was just get a lot of buckets and then put all your compost in your buckets and then just do it all at once. So we got 15, 20, 25 buckets, and I will just go spread this out. I'll dump them all in there. We'll clean out the buckets, and then we'll bring them up and store them for use in our little composting toilet. So in terms of sustainability and regenerative design, it's critical that we start thinking about all of our waste products as food. So I think there's something symbolic that if you take the stuff that you're eating and then you turn it into a compost, and you take that compost and then you feed other, whether it's your fruit trees or another form of life, you feed it with that and then create more biodiversity and life, then that inherently begins us thinking in a new way where we're starting to think of everything that we do as cyclical. Because right now what's wrong with the planet and why we're on a track to destroy life on Earth as we know it is because of this linear idea where we're not thinking in cycles. So that's what I want to leave you with, is compost your own poo as a metaphor for the way that you're going to take everything that you do to planet Earth and make it more of a cyclical, life regenerative process. And on that note, I really love the Humanure Handbook by Joseph Jenkins. It's like a philosophical tome on Humanure, sort of in the line of what I was just saying. So it's got a lot of really great diagrams and different ways you can build composting toilets. So I highly recommend that. Have a great day. I hope that was helpful. Please leave questions and comments in the section below.